People always ask me, how do you do all of this? The podcasts, YouTube, freelancing, building your own company. And the truth is, I don't do it alone. There's but one little small tiny secret to all of this, and that's people. My editor, my business partner, and all the teams that I work with as a freelancer, they make it possible. The secret to success is not just really hardworking. No, it's people. You get stuff done through people. But most people stay stuck because of their ego. They don't trust others. They're not in the right surroundings. Or they want to do everything alone because they can do it the best. Well, that's still your ego though, so don't. Well, in this video, I will show you how to network, build the right surroundings, and how to use leverage to move even faster. I used to think that I was surrounded by the wrong people until my best friend, who is also my business partner, pointed something out that changed my perspective entirely. I was complaining and he said, well, it not depends on the people. It depends on what you're looking for within the people. So why are you here? Because the people we were there with at that current moment were perfect for just drinking a beer and having a good time. So what's right? Not everyone in your life needs to be there to push you forward. Sometimes it's also good to have people to just have a good time with and drink a beer or have some fun. But if you don't have anyone who is pushing you forward, well, then you have a problem. How to balance business and beer friends? Well, my best friends both, for example. We can make some fun, we can have a stupid conversation, we can drink a beer, but we can also talk about business and get stuff done. Most of my friends right now, they're business focused. And that's because I am in a season where I need to focus more on business right now to create the life I want. And that's fine, but that does not mean that I don't have my beer friends. When I'm in Amsterdam, right now I'm not, I'm in Bali, but when I am in Amsterdam, we like to play some pool. We like to drink beer, or if I don't drink beer, I drink a cup of tea or a Coke. Sometimes we all just drink a cup of tea or a Coke, and we still have fun. We enjoy life. We have good conversations. And that's also fine, because that's exactly what I ask of those friends. Those friends exactly fulfill that need. But now, because I'm more in a season where I need to focus more on business, most of my people that I have around me are business people. There's nothing wrong with either of them, the beer friends or the business friends, but they just serve a different need. And if you're wondering if you should cut someone off in your life, it also really depends. Like, do they bring you up or do they bring you down? When I was in theater school, for example, there were a lot of people who smoked lots of cigarettes, smoked a lot of weed, drank a lot, and were partying a lot, did not have healthy habits, not going to the gym, not taking care of themselves, whatsoever. Like, those people using a lot of drugs, also that, it's not good if your surroundings is all surrounded with those people, because those people will drag you down. And that does not mean that they're bad persons. Not at all. Like, they're really nice and kind people. But at that current moment, when I was at the phase of growing and was not dropped out of school yet, but almost there, I did not match up with the people in the right way because they influenced me with bad habits that I did not want. So yeah, then when I dropped out of school, it was better to cut them all off because it increased the quality of my life. Do the people drag you down or not? Also a good metrics to think of if you need to cut people out of your life or not is just, what purpose do they fulfill for me? And that sounds really selfish, but in the end, like, if you are with people that does not fill any kind of purpose for you, why should you be with those people? And if they fill the purpose for you on having a good time, having a nice conversation, or anything like that, or even if it's just you go to the museum together because you both like it, if they fulfill some kind of purpose to you, that's also fine. And then you just use those friends for those needs of you. I think the moment I moved to Lisbon and just in general when I started traveling, it had a major influence in my life. In Lisbon, I met really nice, cool people. I had time to clear my head. I had time to rethink my habits. I had lots of time there actually. But that's not the point right now. Changing your surroundings and changing the people you hang out with changes you as well. It gives you a new perspective. Even like it started in Lisbon, but in Madeira, I went on steroids, all because I started the podcast and met even more people. But having the right people is not only who you spend the most time with, having the right people is also what those connections can create for you. Right now, I am working on a huge opportunity for me personally. All because I met someone in Lisbon who saw on my Instagram story that I'm in Bali right now and we met up again. Well, it's meant to be that way. I guess that we now discuss some kind of business deal that I cannot talk that much about. But it's all because of the people. It's because of the network I've met. That's just the power of a strong network. The truth is that opportunity does not only come from hard work, but it also comes from who you know, where you put yourself, and how much value you give to someone. How to start building a powerful network within 3 simple steps. Go where the right people are, give value before you take, and stop talking about yourself. If you go where the right people are, I mean physically. And all those communities and online things are great. Believe me, it's really nice, and I met some people through there as well. But when you meet someone physically, it's different. So I would say go to a co-working, go to events, go to retreats, go to places where you meet like-minded people. Because if you meet like-minded people, you can connect. For example, my accountability partner, I have a call with every fucking Sunday. I met through a WhatsApp group, but the WhatsApp group was from an event that I went to. If I did not went to that event, I would have never met my accountability partner. And now I see how much value an accountability partner brings me actually. But I only got it because I went to that event. And giving value before you take, that's really, really, really important as well. It's about showing interest in someone. It's about genuinely listening to someone and giving someone your full focus and attention, not being distracted. Because only if you listen and only if you focus on what someone is saying, you can actually provide value towards them by asking questions. And at some point, because you know what the conversation is about, maybe you can just say, hey, I listened to this really cool podcast. This might help you as well. And to be honest, like my own podcast, Digital Nomad podcast, it's kind of a cheat code because it brings people free marketing. I like doing it, and people can talk about their own story and about themselves. Well, I learn from them because most people I talk to are way further on in their journey than me. So that's a little cheat code, but if you don't have a podcast, and I think most people who watch this don't, just be interested in them and see if you can provide value through a book, a concept, or whatsoever. But first listen, because one of the biggest mistakes is that people talk about themselves. Step 3. No one cares about you. Everyone cares about themselves. The most used word in history in general is I. People like to talk about themselves. So let them talk about themselves. Ask questions. The most interesting people are interested people. For example, I refer a lot of Alex Ramosi to people because I learn a lot from him while I am consuming his content. So I would recommend you to listen to Alex Ramosi as well because he is really valuable. But if you thought this video was valuable as well, I would recommend you to subscribe to this channel and also share this with someone you think this could be valuable for. Because on this channel, I will share the Digital Nomad podcast where I tell cool stories of entrepreneurs I meet during travels, talk about sales, marketing, business, and everything about the personal growth it brings while traveling as a digital nomad myself and building the companies and everything. So if you don't want to miss out on that, I would just say subscribe, hit the notification bell, maybe you wave a bit, do a little smile, do something funny with your head, with your thumbs, and now we go on. Because, you know, your network can open doors. I used to think that I needed to do everything by myself. But honestly, it just drained my energy and slowed me down. At some point, I was working night and day. And if you're working night and day, you don't have rest. If you don't have rest, your workload will go down. What you can handle will go down, and you will be less efficient. So let people help you. Ask for help. The most successful people, they don't just work hard. They ask for help. They have people. They use leverage. They let others handle what they're the best at, so they can focus on what matters. For example, my video editor right now. I could not do YouTube and a podcast if I did not have my video editor. One, he is better at it than me and better than I will be, because at first I edited my videos myself and he does a better job, and that's fine. But second of all, it drains a lot of time that I do not have, because building a company, having the podcast, doing all the freelance work, like I need to focus on other things, so it's better to have a video editor. I remember when I did not have him, I stayed up sometimes all fucking night to finish a video, and sometimes even still it was late. And that's fine, that's all part of the process, that's all a phase someone needs to go through, but it's not efficient. Using leverage is also about just delegating things that you don't like to do, are not good at, or others can do better than you. For example, bookkeeping. I have a bookkeeper. Why? Because the bookkeeper knows everything about numbers, the tips, the tricks, and everything about that better than I do. I don't want to think about that. I just want him to do it so I can focus on the business. And that would be important for most business people to have an accountant or a bookkeeper whatsoever. It's good to have a proper understanding of it. But why do it yourself when you don't have to? You can delegate things. Another problem that most people have within working together with others, it's that they don't trust them or they don't think they do a good job. But first of all, look at yourself. How well do you communicate to the other person? Do you set KPIs? Do you set targets? Do you communicate it clear, exactly in detail what you want? One of my mentors or friends, or however you want to call him, told me that when you work with people, you always need to think that they are stupid. And that sounds harsh, but if you explain things to them in a really simple way and they know what you do, the odds of them fucking up become lower and lower. So if you're really clear towards someone on what they need to do, set KPIs, set targets, and in that way set out proper workflows, the odds of the people you delegate things to fucking up will become lower, or they will know the consequences of that. Well, I think that's it. So if you want to know more about the thing that changed my life, then click on this video and I talk about why content creation is really important. But if you just want to listen to cool stories from the entrepreneurs I met, click on this playlist for the Digital Nomad podcasts. And then I would say, visionaries, don't just consume, but also take action. I will see you later. Ciao.